Hi there. Welcome back to Echo Your English. Today, we are going to listen, repeat, and speak about a very common and friendly topic, hobbies. Take a deep breath, relax your mind, and just listen. You can even close your eyes if you want. Imagine yourself sitting in a quiet park on a sunny afternoon. The air is fresh, the birds are singing, and people are walking by. Two friends, Emma and Ryan, are sitting on a park bench, enjoying the soft breeze. Ryan smiles and says, "So, Emma, what do you like to do in your free time?" Emma laughs softly and replies, I have many hobbies, but I think my favorite one is painting." Ryan looks curious and asks, "Painting? That sounds interesting. What do you paint?" Emma says, "Mostly nature, trees, sunsets, sometimes faces. Painting makes me feel calm. When I paint, I forget about everything else." Ryan nods and says, "That's beautiful. I think hobbies are like therapy for the soul." Emma agrees and replies, "Exactly. When I'm painting, I feel free." "What about you, Ryan? What's your hobby?" Ryan smiles and says, "I love playing the guitar. I started learning when I was in high school." Emma's eyes light up. "Oh, that's cool. Can you play any song I know?" Ryan laughs, "Maybe. I like old rock songs, but sometimes I just make up my own melodies." Emma looks impressed and asks, "That's amazing. So you write your own music?" Ryan shrugs modestly and says, "A little bit. It's nothing professional. But when I play, I feel alive." Emma smiles warmly and says, "That's what hobbies are for, right? They make us feel alive."
They both sit quietly for a moment, listening to the soft sounds around them. The wind, the laughter, the birds. It feels peaceful. Ryan looks up at the sky and says, "Sometimes I think our hobbies tell us who we really are." Emma nods slowly and says, "Yes, maybe our hobbies are little pieces of our heart." They both smile. The sun is setting now, and the light turns golden. It's one of those moments that feels simple, yet deeply meaningful. A moment where words, emotions, and silence blend together perfectly. Now let's practice speaking together. I'll say a line, and you can repeat after me. What do you like to do in your free time? I love painting. Painting makes me feel calm. I like playing the guitar. Our hobbies tell us who we are. Good job. Take a deep breath. You're doing great. This is how we connect in real English, not just through grammar or vocabulary, but through feelings, emotion, and expression. English becomes easier and more natural when you let it flow like a real conversation.
The evening sky turns soft and orange as Emma and Ryan continue their conversation. The air feels warm and gentle. Ryan picks up a small stick and draws lines on the ground absent-mindedly. "You know," he says, "sometimes I feel like I don't have enough time for my hobbies anymore. Work, responsibilities, everything just gets in the way." Emma nods slowly. "Yes, I understand that.
Life becomes so busy that we forget to do the things that make us happy. But I think hobbies are not just for fun. They're a part of self-care. Ryan looks at her with interest. Self-care? He asks. Emma smiles. Yes. You know how some people meditate or go for a walk when they're stressed? For me, painting is like meditation. It keeps my mind calm and helps me think clearly. Ryan nods thoughtfully. That makes sense. For me, playing the guitar is like talking to myself. When I play music, I express everything that I can't say in words. Emma listens quietly, then says, "That's beautiful." I think hobbies connect us to something deeper, something that reminds us who we really are beneath all the noise.
They both sit in silence for a moment, thinking about what she said. The park is quiet now. The laughter has faded, and the wind has slowed down. There's a soft, golden light around them. Ryan finally says, "You know, when I was younger, I thought hobbies were just a waste of time. My parents used to tell me to focus on my studies. But now I realize hobbies are not a distraction. They're what make life meaningful." Emma smiles. Exactly. A hobby is not something small or silly. It's something that gives meaning to your days. It can be anything: reading, gardening, dancing, writing, cooking. Anything that makes your soul smile. Ryan laughs gently. Soul smile? I like that phrase. I guess my guitar makes my soul smile. Emma laughs too, and my paintbrush does the same for me. Ryan leans back on the bench and says softly, "Do you think hobbies can change our mood?" Emma nods. Of course. When you spend time doing something you love, your brain releases happy chemicals, dopamine and serotonin. It's science, but it's also emotional. You start to feel lighter, more alive, more peaceful. Ryan raises his eyebrows and says, "Wow, I didn't know that. So, playing my guitar is not just fun, it's also good for my brain." Emma laughs again. Exactly. Hobbies make us creative, calm, and emotionally balanced. They remind us that we are more than our job, our grades, or our worries. We are human beings with imagination and feelings. Ryan nods deeply and says, "You're right. Maybe I should make more time for music again." Emma replies, "Yes, you should. Even 15 minutes a day can make a difference." They both smile, looking at the sunset one last time before they get up to leave. The park feels peaceful, and their hearts feel light. It's strange how a simple conversation about hobbies can remind us of the most important things in life: joy, passion, peace, and presence. Now it's your turn. I'll say a few lines and you can repeat them with me. Hobbies are a part of self-care. Painting is like meditation for me. When I play music, I express myself. Hobbies make life meaningful. My hobby makes my soul smile. Hobbies remind us who we really are. Beautiful. You're doing great. Keep repeating, keep listening, and let English flow through you naturally. Remember, learning English is also a hobby, a beautiful one that connects you with millions of hearts around the world.
As Emma and Ryan walk out of the park, the evening lights begin to glow softly around them. The air feels cool now, and the city is slowly coming alive with the sound of traffic and people heading home. Ryan slips his hands into his pockets and says quietly, "You know, sometimes I feel nervous to try something new. I always think, what if I'm not good at it?" Emma smiles and says, "I used to think the same way. When I started painting, my drawings were really bad. I almost gave up. But one day I realized that hobbies aren't about being perfect. They're about enjoying the process." Ryan nods, listening carefully. "That's true. I think fear stops us from enjoying things we might actually love." Emma looks at him and says, "Exactly. The moment you stop worrying about being good, you start to feel free. The fun begins when you stop trying to be perfect." They walk past a small cafe, and the smell of fresh coffee fills the air. Ryan laughs and says, "Maybe I should try something totally different, like cooking or photography." Emma grins, "You should. Learning something new always brings fresh energy into your life. It makes your mind open and your heart lighter." Ryan tilts his head. "But what if I fail?" Emma shakes her head gently. "Then you learn. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey. Every artist, every musician, every writer has failed many times, but they kept going because they loved what they were doing." Ryan smiles softly. "I guess that's true. When I first learned guitar, my fingers hurt so much. I wanted to quit, but I didn't. Now it feels natural." Emma says, "See, that's what growth feels like. Uncomfortable at first, but beautiful later."
They cross the street slowly, the sound of cars and footsteps blending into the background. Ryan says, "I think hobbies teach us confidence too. When you see yourself improving little by little, it gives you a sense of pride." Emma nods. "Yes, exactly. Confidence doesn't come from success. It comes from progress. When you keep practicing, when you keep trying, you begin to believe in yourself." Ryan thinks for a moment and then says, "So hobbies are not just for fun. They're lessons in patience, self-belief, and joy." Emma smiles brightly. "That's right. They remind us that we can create, learn, and grow, no matter our age, no matter our past." The two friends stop near the corner of the street where they have to say goodbye. Ryan looks at Emma and says, "Thank you for this talk. I didn't expect a simple question about hobbies to turn into something so deep." Emma laughs softly. "That's what good conversations do. They turn simple thoughts into something meaningful." Ryan nods. "I think I'll start practicing guitar again tonight." Emma smiles. "And I'll paint something new. Maybe the sunset we just saw." They both laugh gently and wave goodbye. each carrying a quiet sense of peace within. Now it's your turn. Let's repeat a few lines together slowly. Hobbies are not about being perfect. The fun begins when you stop trying to be perfect. Learning something new brings fresh energy. Failure is part of the journey. Confidence comes from progress. My hobby helps me believe in myself. Wonderful. You're doing so well. Keep listening, keep repeating, and keep growing. Remember, English learning is also like a hobby. The more you enjoy it, the better you become. That night, after saying goodbye, both Emma and Ryan return home. The city lights glow softly outside their windows. Emma takes out her paintbrush and blank canvas. Ryan picks up his old guitar, its wooden surface warm and familiar under his fingers. The world outside feels quiet, but inside something peaceful begins to move. A feeling of calm, creativity, and gentle focus. Emma looks at her canvas and thinks about the conversation they had earlier. She smiles softly and begins to paint the sunset they saw together. The same golden light, the same warmth that lingered between their words. Each brushstroke feels like a breath, slow and mindful. With every color she adds, her thoughts begin to settle. Meanwhile, Ryan tunes his guitar. The strings feel a little stiff, like old memories waking up after a long sleep. He strums slowly, letting the sound fill the small room. At first, he hesitates, missing a few chords. But then he remembers what Emma said. It's not about being perfect. It's about enjoying the process. So he smiles and keeps playing, letting his heart lead instead of his mind. The melody that comes out is soft and simple, yet full of feeling. He realizes that this moment, this quiet connection between him and his guitar, is what peace really feels like. As the night deepens, both of them, in their own little corners of the world, feel connected, not just to their hobbies, but to life itself. Hobbies have a strange kind of magic. They bring people closer without words. They teach patience without lectures. They heal pain without medicine. They remind us that joy doesn't always have to come from success or recognition. Sometimes it simply comes from doing something with love. Emma stops painting for a moment, looks at her work, and whispers to herself, "I'm not painting for anyone. I'm painting for me." At the same time, Ryan strums his final chord and lets the sound fade into silence. He closes his eyes and smiles. In that silence, both of them find something they had been missing, a quiet joy that no achievement or trophy could ever give. The next morning, Emma sends a photo of her painting to Ryan. He replies with a voice note saying, "That's beautiful. I wrote a new tune last night inspired by our talk." They both laugh,
realizing that sometimes a small conversation can change the way we see ourselves. It can remind us to slow down, to create, to feel alive again. Hobbies, they both now understand, are not just activities, they're bridges, connecting us to our inner selves and to the people who understand us without trying. Now, as you listen, take a deep breath. Think about your own hobbies. Maybe you love to read, to draw, to cook, to dance, or simply to take long walks. Whatever it is, it's yours. It's a piece of your heart. Remember, when you do something you love, you speak the language of peace. And when you learn English through something you love, your words start to carry emotion and rhythm naturally. Let's repeat a few final lines together. I enjoy my hobbies because they make me calm. My hobbies help me connect with myself. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to begin. Hobbies bring joy, peace, and meaning. Learning English is also my hobby, and I love it. Excellent! You did it! You've not only learned English today, you felt it. This was Echo Your English. Keep listening, keep repeating, and keep growing, one beautiful word at a time.